All right, what's up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast real estate tip, where every single week I come to delivering different tips, tactics, and strategies to help you get shit done inside your real estate business and help ensure that you're crushing and dominating your overall real estate goals. All right, so today I'm here to break down the top 6 core elements, the top 6 fundamentals, the top core, 6 most important elements to growing and scaling a successful real estate team or successful real estate brokerage. So for those of you that are team leaders, for those of you that are brokerage owners, or hey, maybe you're an individual agent right now, but you are an aspiring team leader and brokerage owner, these are the 6 things that you got to nail, that you got to get right, that you got to make sure you do not screw up. Otherwise, you are going to stay small. Otherwise, you are going to experience a lot of resistance. You're not going to be able to create the success that you want. So these are the 6 core, most important fundamentals, elements, to building a highly successful team, a highly successful real estate business, but then also the key that allows you to just go out there and accelerate, go out there and expand. Now, all 6 of these have to be nailed. This isn't one of these things where it's like, oh, well, Josh, man, I like number 2 and number 6, so I'm just going to focus on those. Nope. If you don't have all 6 of these things dialed in, you are not going to be able to grow and scale. You're going to have limits. You're going to have capacities. You're going to have massive struggles. Like, you got to get all these 6 things right. So I'm going to break these down and talk about why they're important, why they're essential, and so forth. All right. So real quick though, before we do so, look, if you're a real estate agent, team leader, or brokerage owner, your business is not exactly where you want it to be, exactly where you know it should be. It's like you're operating down here, but you know your potential is way up here. You just do not know exactly what to do. Look, maybe your business is down a little bit, or it's down a lot of it. Maybe it's staying stagnant, or maybe it's growing. It's just not growing at the pace that you really want it to be. If that is you, I invite you to schedule a 100% free, zero pressure Zoom coaching call with me personally. It's going to be a 1-hour-long call with us. We're going to break down where your business is at, what your 12-month goals are, what your long-term goals are, what you are currently doing, what your biggest obstacles are. Then from there, I'm going to map out, hey, if I'm you, if we switch places, if I'm you, here's exactly what I would do to get from where you're at to where you want to go. So I'm going to give and articulate to you the exact roadmap that I recommend to get from where you're at to where you want to go in the quickest, most effective, efficient, profitable manner possible. So if you're stuck and don't know exactly how to build exactly what you want to build, I got your back on this 100%. So reach out to me. You can schedule this at www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call. www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call. Full disclosure, spend 50 minutes getting all that shit dialed in. Plenty of time. I promise you, you're not going to not leave this call without knowing exactly what to do to get from where you're at to where you want to go. Then I'm going to spend a few minutes at the end walking through what my coaching program entails. Hey, if it's for you, cool. Not, that's okay too. We can still be friends. You have my word that this will still be massively powerful, massively beneficial time for you. So look, my coaching time is $1,000 an hour for one-on-one consulting time. So if you want to take advantage of this for free right now and then take advantage of one of these sessions, again, www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call. Okay, so let's break down. Again, we're talking about the 6 core fundamentals to building and scaling a team or a real estate brokerage. And the reason why these apply to both of these is, look, whether you're building a team or a brokerage, it's the same shit. Right? Like, okay, if you're building a team, usually you're just leveraging some of the liability of the brokerage, leveraging some of their resources, bricks and mortar, but the overall fundamentals are the exact same. Models can slightly different, but like the key to growing and scaling these is the same. All right, so let's break down into these 6 different items. Okay, number 1 that you got to get right. And again, all these, so these aren't like in a hierarchy. They're in this order strategically for a reason, because they all build off of each other, but you got to nail all 6 of these. Okay. First one is strategy. So strategy is just your overall effective plan for everything that you do inside your real estate business. Anything done more than once, you have to become obsessed with dialing in what the most effective plan is, aka strategy, for each thing that you do inside your business. So this is going to apply to everything from the big shit to the small shit, right? But the most important element of strategy that you must master, that you must hone in, that you must dial in, that trumps everything else, is what's called client acquisition strategy. So, okay, in the beginning, this is going to be after going after buyers and sellers. Like, you got to get so damn good at being able to generate and acquire more clients than you can be able to handle. Because if you don't dial that in, you're not going to ever be able to scale to the point where you can start building a team or a brokerage. So that's number 1. So we got to be able to go out there and get damn good at strategy, right? So our ability to go out there and acquire way more business than we could ever handle alone. Because what is a team? And whether you're doing a team or a brokerage, it's like, I look at a team as more than one. Now, whether I'm doing a brokerage or a team, right? That's just a name. That's just they're different models for different things. Yeah, right. But when I'm looking at both of it's going to take people, right? So, and I look at a team as the classification of that is more than one human being that are working on, working together on the same goal, right? So dude, like if you don't get damn good at this, you're never going to be able to scale to where you need to start plugging in the right people and the right model, all of this stuff. Then from there, maybe you get to a point where you're completely out of production. Let's just say you're running a traditional brokerage. You're completely out of production. So you're like, oh man, I don't need to be good at strategy anymore. No, look, dude, client acquisition strategy is whoever pays you money is your client. So, okay, for me, I haven't personally sold a house in, I don't know, maybe 12 years now. So I'm not working with buyers and sellers. But I got to be good at this for two reasons, right? I got to be damn good at being able to teach my agents then how to go out there and acquire clients and get damn good at this. But then from there, okay, I also got to be able to go out there and acquire because my clients now are agents, right? So whoever pays me money is my client. So it used to be buyers and sellers. Now today it's agents. So I got to get damn good at my ability to go out there and recruit agents, right? So that's when I kind of talk about strategy for client acquisition. Whether it's buyers, sellers, agent recruiting. And I can't tell you how many broker owners and team leaders that I talk to that are so terrible at recruiting. It's like they're just selling features and benefits, and then they think it's just the splits. Nobody cares about splits. Nobody cares about your features and benefits. Nobody cares about all the awesome training and all the awesome systems that you think that you offer. Nobody gives two shits about that when they're thinking about joining your team or brokerage. All they care about is, I'm experiencing this pain. I want to get out of this pain. I want to get to this pleasure. Whoever can identify that, right, and then articulate that they're the best guy to get them from pain, to get them to that pleasure, is going to go out there and win that recruit, right? Now, am I going to go through what we have to offer? Yeah, right? About 50 minutes of my recruit session is about that pain and pleasure, articulate the roadmap. Then from there, though, when I'm speaking to features and benefits, I'm not just like, oh, here's all this awesome shit we have. I'm speaking specifically to how those necessary tools or services help solve their problems, to speak to their specific results, to get them from pain to get them to pleasure. So like, you got to nail that. So whether it's acquiring buyers, acquiring sellers, acquiring agent recruits, like you got to nail that, and you got to get damn good and become a master at strategy. Okay. So element number 2, processes. So processes are your step-by-step actions that you do inside your company, and anything done more than once needs a documented, detailed process. So this is just step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, right? So these are everything done more than once needs a doc. It's like taking it out of your head, putting it onto paper. So if you're looking at this if you're on YouTube, but if you're listening to this, you can't see it, but I'll explain it. So, okay, like here's my SOPs, right? Here's my operations manual, or this is my operations manual for agents, right? And then we, of course, have them for staff, all of that. But it's like, and here's everything that we do, A to Z, what we do, when we do it, how we do it. We get everybody speaking the same language. So I can take a brand new agent fresh out of school and get them making 20, 30 G's a month after splits, within 6 months, because they plug into world-class processes, right? Just follow these steps. You're going to get this result, right? So it eliminates that guesswork, keeps us all on the same page, ensures everything is done the same way each and every single time. The reason why processes come second after strategy is we're building around our processes, around our strategies, right? So, okay, our strategies are our overall effective plan for everything we do from A to Z inside our organization. Now we got processes. And I know this isn't the sexy, fun thing, but hey, look, business isn't always sexy and fun. And if you want to go scale big, like this is the shit you got to do and shit you got to dial in, right? Okay, so then the next step is dialing in your systems. So systems are where our processes live. So processes are the step-by-step actions that we take to get the desired result. Those processes live inside systems. So then that way, those processes can be followed. Things aren't missed. You can, as a leader, have the ability to inspect what you expect. When the most important elements of you being the leader of your organization is to be able to build out effective systems for the processes to live. So your job is to build the systems. The systems then hold this. So you build the systems manage your people and hold your people accountable, and you're able to inspect what you expect with your systems, right? So this way you don't have to go micromanage people, right? Like you don't have to, like, hey, if I'm in a team in a leads division, okay, I can look at my systems in about 5 minutes every day, have a daily scorecard on every single body inside my organization. I don't have to go out there and micromanage them, right? So got to nail your strategy, got to know your processes, got to nail your systems, right? Like this is going to allow you to build this machine that is now just this juggernaut that can grow and scale, right? The best businesses are the best system and process-based businesses that have the best overall effective strategies, right, that they're deploying. Okay, so then from there, tracking. You got to nail tracking. You got to know every single most important KPI data point inside your business, front end and back end. Back end meaning expenses, revenue, all of that, like where money's coming from, where it's going, what your expenses are, with your expenses, either making money, saving time, right? Like, you got to make sure that you're running proper margins, all of these things inside your organization, but then from there, okay, like I'll give you an example of, for teams and both teams and brokerages, some kind of important front end numbers that you need to know. Okay, so just like when you're going after buyers and sellers, like you had to know, okay, well, how much energy, effort, and money did it take to go out there and acquire a client? Called cost, cost per acquisition, plus, so great predictability. Oh, well, this many leads, this many reach outs, this many conversations, appointments set, so forth, this amount of money, this amount of profitability. Well, same thing on the agent recruit side. Right? Like if I'm spending money to get leads for agents or whatever, okay, I got to know all of that so I can know the cost per acquisition. But then from there, okay, well, how many reach outs, how many conversations, appointments set, appointment conductions equates to one agent signed. So then I know, how much energy, effort, and money that it takes to go out there and acquire an agent. Right. So then let's just say I need to go out there and recruit 85 new agents in the next 12 months or whatever that number is for you, right now, from a daily basis. And as you start plugging in recruiters, like I know what the numbers are my recruiters need to hit every single day. I know if they're a good recruiter or a bad recruiter based on those numbers. And if they need help and need coaching, okay, I know based on those numbers where they need help and where they need coaching, or if I need to get rid of them, like I'm able to oversee all of this stuff because I track it. I know the numbers inside and out. Then from there, okay, we hired this agent. Okay, well, how long are they in onboarding for, before they start contributing to average agent production? What's that average time? Why is that important to know? Okay, well, then what are we doing to move the needle forward to get our agents producing faster? That's something I'm going to be tracking very heavily. Then from there, okay, I'm tracking what's my average agent production, what's my average agent company dollar, how long is the agent with us on average before they leave. So then I know lifetime value of every single agent. So then when you start plugging people in your leadership team or people, recruiters, how can you know how to compensate them or how much you can compensate them if you don't know your cost per acquisition? Very difficult to go out there and do that. So tracking, got to know it, got to know your data inside your business. Otherwise you are going to fail and you're not going to be able to, you may not fail, but you're going to stay small. You're going to fail, creating that dream brokerage, that dream team that you've always wanted to create. And again, I get it. This is not the sexy, fun stuff, but it's the unsexy, unfun stuff, right? That makes the biggest differences, right? Okay. So then the next element here is people. Obviously, to go out there and scale a team or a brokerage, we need people. So you have to have the ability to go out there and acquire amazing, talented people inside your organization. Right? So from staff, leadership, as well as agents, all right, like you got to dial that stuff in. Like you got to go out there and master your recruiting process. You got to master your ability to go out there and hire staff, how to know who to hire, when to hire, how to compensate. How do we write effective ads? How do we first get clarity on who that exact person is? How do I go out there and write my ads effectively? How do I go out there and what's my interview process? Like when I'm going out there and hiring a staff member, okay, I have a very detailed process that I go through called my 4RD process, where I identify, okay, like who's the exact best, person to hire for what role, what responsibilities, what are the requirements, all of that stuff, to bring on at this time for what position, what role, right? Then from there, okay, that then allows me to then understand and break down, okay, what are all the tests that I need to put them through? So I know what the interview process looks like. So like, man, it's not uncommon for me to have people take 5 tests that they're unaware of before we even get to interview stage. Okay, then I've got a 2-step interview process, a culture interview process, then a proficiency skill set interview process. Then from there, I'm going to put them through a final test because I want to go through like, hey man, I think that this person's the right person. Like I want to go from that to I know with full certainty this is the person that we need for this position. Okay, so like one of the biggest mistakes, one of the most costly mistakes, one of the most things that will hurt you more than anything is hiring the wrong people inside your organization, right? Like you get to a point where when it's more than you, it's like comes down to, hey, how many amazing rock stars can we get that have this shared vision, working on these shared goals together? Right? Like great Steve Jobs said, man, a small group of A players will run circles around a large group of B and C players, right? So we got to nail that. Then same thing on the agent recruit side, right? Like you got to be great at being able to go out there and acquire and recruit and, all of those things. Now, what are we recruiting to? We're recruiting to the system, right? So you got the product. What is the product? The product is your ability to help your agents get from where they're at to where they want to go in the most effective, efficient, profitable manner possible. That's the product, right? So that's why we talked about strategy, systems, processes. Like that's the overall product that you're recruiting to. Now you got to have the ability to add in the right people at the right times. Now, one of the things that then dictates who you hire when you hire which is element number 6 here, is the model that you are then choosing to go out there and deploy and build, right? So the model comes down to, you got to get extreme clarity on what is that you want to build. What is that perfect business for you? What does that look like? You could snap your fingers 3, 5, 10, 20 years, however long it takes, and you have that perfect business built. And another way of thinking about this is, okay, like how much money would you be making? Is exit strategy important to you? How much do you want to, like, okay, I want to go out there and build this and exit and sell for this and have the X evaluation, or how much money do you want to be also making, right? On a monthly, annual basis. What's your perfect day look like? How do you want to allocate your time? Okay, if you did have to work inside the business, do you want to just be able to disappear and have the business running without you? Right. That was an important thing for me. It's like, I want to be able to go, if I want to take a year off, 2 years off, just go disappear. Okay. Like I build a machine that's run without me. It allows me to go out there and do all these podcasts and do all these free coaching calls with you guys and help you guys get dialed in. I got these 6 things dialed in. I got amazing people. I got all this, like the machine runs. Like I could just I just can go disappear and it's still running without me. Right. So with that, breaking this down of when we think about this model, we got to identify what the best model is for us to go out there and build, to go out there and make your long-term vision a reality. Because here is the thing, is you're going to be building something either way. So if you don't get clarity on what that model is that you want to build or need to build, the mistake that most people make, or a lot of people make, is they end up accidentally building a metaphorical prison versus the metaphorical empire. Yeah, right. Like you do not want to do that. You're taking the actions anyway. Might as well take the right actions in the right way to build and deploy go out there and build the right thing that you want to go out there and build. So you got to identify, you got to nail the model. You got to know what that looks like. You got to know what that is. And look, a lot of times, I work with coaching clients where they're like, we get clarity on what they want, what's most important to them, how they want to allocate their time, all those things that I asked, just mentioned a moment ago. And not always. Sometimes it's, hey, this is the model you got to go out there and build. But sometimes it can be, hey, man, that you really have 2 different models, 2 different options. Like which one attracts you more? Or sometimes if you don't know, flip a fucking coin. Right. But usually it's one's going to attract you more than the other. Well, then now the model, go out there and build, because how you hire, when you hire, how with this, like a lot of this is dependent on the model. That's why all 6 of these things got to come together. You got to have clarity on what is the model that I'm building, right? We got to make sure that we have the right strategies in place for every aspect of your business. Processes are dialed in, systems are dialed in, tracking. And then again, got to have the ability to plug in the right people at the right times, and be able to go out there and hire an abundance of amazing talented agents and amazing talented, staff, leadership team, all of that stuff to go out there and build what you want to build. And again, that's going to be dependent. Like, okay, like you can run it with small amount of people, small amount of admin, large agent count, it's just going to depend on what the model is. There's so many different models, you got to just decipher what's the best model for you based on what it is that you truly want and those things that are most important to you. So you got to nail these 6 things. If you do not nail these 6 things, man, you're going to stay small. You're going to have a lot of resistance. You're going to have a lot of pain. This thing isn't going to be that much fun, but if you nail these 6 things, it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get to where you want to go much faster. Going to be able to scale this thing, to where you want to go, or maybe even way beyond what you ever dreamed and fathomed you could scale it to, right? It doesn't need to be all that difficult, but if you nail these, like if you don't nail these 6 things, yeah, it's going to be difficult. And you're going to have a lot of resistance and you're going to be running against the wind all the time, right? But you nail these 6 things, boom, it's just like that rocket ship taking off. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful. Nail these 6 things, go out there and grow the shit out of your team and your brokerage. And again, if you would like to schedule a 100% free, like, look, we want to break some of this down. You want to talk about what model's best for you. You don't know. Yeah, right. What model's best for you. Look, again, let's jump on a free coaching call, 100% free, 0 pressure, Zoom coaching strategy call with me. If that's something you want to take advantage of, go to www.gsdmode.com/Zoom call. I'll 100% help you get dialed in. I got your back. Anyway, guys, I truly appreciate you. Truly appreciate your support. Keep crushing, keep kicking ass. I will see you next time. Peace.